I talk about this sometimes, and it's very, I guess, it's more, I want to say popular because it seems like people are doing it for attention or fad, but it's just, the social media just lets you see more experiences, learn and relate to others' experiences, and understand your own better. So through that, there's a lot of people, adults with autism, late diagnosed, or people who were but didn't understand what it's like, and if they were just all alone in the way they experienced the world, and social and sensory and all that stuff was challenging, but in what specific ways. That's all out there now, and more people can learn to understand themselves and realize what's going on with them or people they care about. I do it for the sake of understanding dogs on a deeper level because of the similarities in the sensory, the transition, the social interaction type of struggles that they have in a dog way that can get them into situations to create problem behaviors and a lack of connection with their owners. Just like when a child is with a parent that doesn't understand them and is punishing them or not helping them grow and getting them more able to navigate their own interactions with the world without intervention. And that's a lot of modalities towards early intervention for children that I know I took with my daughter. Temple Grandin, Dr. Grandin really talks a lot about that the earlier you get in, the more you kind of stretch them, as she says, out of their comfort zone, it tends to get things a little easier as they get older. And I can see it straight up in my daughter. She's going to be 20 next week, and she is amazing. She can function better than I am. Socially, she's better, and then educationally before. But anyway, it is definitely something that there is a maximum potential. Yes, she's still autistic. Yes, she does have struggles, but she would have a lot more struggles and a less of a potential ability to be independent if me and her mother didn't do that stretching, if you will, and all the early intervention services, therapies, and education. Talking about masking, unmasking, because a lot of people use that term now. I guess that was the point of talking about how it's popular now to talk about being an adult with autism and high functioning, but you struggle in all these ways with the components of it. And masking is a big one, saying that if I was my true self, no one would accept me. But through that, and I'm definitely a victim of that, is that you are now like not showing your true self, and there's going to be some sidebar issues down the road. You're going to get exhaustion, long term or in each day. Like people who have to go work. I couldn't work. There's no way I could do a job other than some kind of entrepreneur thing where I'm working with animals or minimal, like with the people, and just unless it's someone like me, because people don't understand me enough in the human realm. But when I'm talking in my realm in relation to the dogs and they see tangible results, we're good to go. But again, like that is, a lot of people do struggle with that. They didn't find that thing that I'm so fortunate that I just believed in myself enough when I was a teenager to go down the animal care route and work for myself. Also being in a family of entrepreneurs helped with that. So again, the unmasking is like, what happens is like you learn as a kid, right? If I acted too autistic, my mom would punish me. She'd hit me. She'd scold me. Teachers would do that. They weren't like, just say what you feel, just do what you do physically. And again, as long as it's within reason, you're not hurting people, you're not, but sometimes it is, you're going to say things that are truthful that will hurt people's feelings. And I deal with that less than 6 hours ago. I mean, it is part of being on the spectrum, is that you sometimes have these things where you're unfiltered to life, so you're assuming everyone else is, so you give in return, and you end up with a lot of struggles interacting, work, employment, that's really difficult for people on the autism spectrum. So the unmasking, right? Me, yes, I can be a little more unmasked because I can be direct, like, hey, don't do this, do that. Like, oh, hi, how are you doing? Yeah, I don't care. Just do what your dog needs. Like, I do that. People get mad sometimes, but it's like, well, he's the trainer and he's here pointing out what my dog needs right now. So, and it helps me because I don't care about that stuff. But I know people need it. It makes them feel good. So I'll do it because I don't want people to feel uncomfortable if I can help it. But sometimes, at least for my job, there's things we have to deal with. And I complain about that. People get mad at me. Let me see here. Do you drink? So the unmasking, though, is even like stimming. I do a lot of vocal stims, a lot of vocal tics. Like not just songs. You might have heard me do a few videos like that, but like I was doing like things like that, or there's a bird, and it's in me. But sometimes I know, like, okay, I do a little bit of it, or I'll keep it inside and I'll rock, or I'll do a lot of this. You can see pictures of me when I'm like 5 years old, and my hands are like, not giving you the finger, like cloth hands type of thing, because I'm always stimming, keeping my body in some sensory organization, or trying my best to. So words help with that, sounds. just, I mean, all that stuff I do. But if I start posing it, here's what's going to happen. If I was fully on disability, someone took care of me, I was independently wealthy, everything, but I'm not. I own a business. And yes, although it's the Dog Savant, although my business is based on me having a certain connection with dogs because of autism, they should let certain things slide or understand. Well, yeah, he's going to have tics and stims and weird ways of, to them weird, to me it's very normal, and other people on the spectrum it's pretty normal. Or he's going to be direct, he's going to be honest, he's not so concerned about making me feel good, he wants to help me, and that's all he's concerned about. He's not going to take 80% effort, 20% caring about social graces, because I'm also getting paid. So there's a load of people who understand it. People hear this type of stuff and they're drawn to me even more so. And it's amazing, and we get a lot of work done because people aren't thinking about, why does this guy talk like this? Why is he like this? But then in the same token, I have a responsibility that I can't show up flapping and stimming because they're going to say, please don't come in my house or go near my dog. So I have to, if I'm anxious, I'll sweat a lot because I'm keeping it in the bottle. And it's sometimes, that's why I take a lot of breaks, a lot of time in nature. I go on these drives every day that I get, off time, because it really is, it takes its toll. And I'm finding it wasn't so hard when I was younger, but now that I'm older, it's very difficult. Or even like having to do these business transactions, and I address it in the way that people aren't used to, and they start getting defensive, or they stop responding to me, or purposely do bad things. That's what they do also. It's like, and I'm up front, I say, look, I just say ADHD. A few people I'll say autism, but I'm like, look, some things are really hard for me that you might not realize are difficult. And it's like, again, I'm like, well, look, you're still doing things that are difficult. Some people adjust, but a lot of people just try to make it harder. They just, I don't know if they get off on it. I'd feel terrible if I'm purposely, but like I do things that sometimes, and it's just hard. It's just hard. Like, but I think about like, if I was just really myself, I wouldn't even, like when I'm talking, like, yes, I talk, but it's usually just like, well, that's what my brain's saying, that's what you're supposed to say. Or when I'm training a dog, these are how I explain these things in these series of words. Or when they say this is the potential answers to give back. Not to be callous or cold, I really care. It's just, it's not natural for me. And what's more natural is being in nature, rocking back and forth and making funny noises, and Gaga talk to my dogs and all this stuff that makes them happy. But humans don't understand it, and they'll think I'm weird, they'll lock me up. I also have low tolerance for frustration sometimes. When I'm not working with dogs and I'm focusing on the real world, it's very stimulating for me. It's a lot of information to process, a lot of just external, again, why I'm in nature often, because it just makes these things more filtered for me, more able to manage. And when I'm working with a client, it's not an issue because I'm focusing on them and their dog, and I'm so present for them. I have to be. There's no other way to deal with this, because I'm going to get overstimulated, and it's, and I have to make a living. And that's what this comes down to. I want to help dogs. I want to be able to make a great living doing this. But there's a lot of things that come with that make it hard for the rest of my life, because I'm masking so much that, again, what's the alternative? Unmasking and people not listening, people getting mad. It's just not going to be good from that. So we know better, but it's like to our own demise. And some people don't understand, like, it's not like you're just pretending or something, you're bottling something up, and then it has to go elsewhere, and that's where a lot of outlets are. And I find if I do preventatively create outlets where I am exercising, eating well, meditating, all that, it's easier, even like at the times that are challenging, to not get overstimulated. Sorry, I'm just trying to find my coffee shop here. But yeah, so that's, I talk about this. Who knows if it makes total sense to people, but I just want to, okay, we'll go back around. Anyway, thank you so much. And if this is something you experience, reach out to me. I'd love to talk to you about it, learn more from myself, and if I can help someone with some insight or what I go through, so be it.